Hi everybody, and welcome back to my kitchen. Years ago, I found this recipe. This recipe was in the newspaper, and actually it was in the Dear Abby column. And I thought, well, I'm going to try this because some pecan pies are so sweet you just have a hard time eating a piece of it. It's so rich. And others are tasteless. They don't have enough of something in them. But all these years later, and it's been a long time, I am still, making this pie, and it is, in my opinion, the best pecan pie you'll ever eat. Now in the bowl, I've already put 1 cup of hardly packed dark brown sugar. I'm going to add 1 cup of light syrup. This is not Caro brand or Caro, however some people pronounce it. It's just a light syrup. So that's going in there. Everything is going to be dumped in here, and I'm going to explain something to you in a minute. Alright, that's good enough. I'm going to try to break this up a little bit for you. Because it's easier in the long run. Alright. Now, I've got 2 tablespoons of flour, and it doesn't matter if it's self-rising or all-purpose, and 1/3 of a cup of salt, 1/3 of a teaspoon of salt. Please don't put 1/3 of a cup in there. And I'm going to mix this in, and I'm going to tell you why. A lot of people will use an electric mixer to mix their pecan pies, and my sister was one of them, and she is an excellent cook, but her pecan pies were always runny, and that's because when you add the eggs and you use an electric mixer, a lot of times the eggs get too well combined and it doesn't congeal or set up like it's supposed to. So you add these 2 tablespoons of flour, and that resolves the problem. So if you all are going to use an electric mixer, you shouldn't have any problem at all. Now, I've got 1/3 of a cup of melted butter. You're not going to believe how good this pie is. Honestly, you will not be disappointed. I promise you. 1/3 of a cup of melted butter. And I'm going to stir that in. And get it combined. I got a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there too. No point in keeping this stirring going any longer than I have to. I could have used an electric mixer. I got it out to use it, but I just chose to do it by hand. Now, the last ingredient is 3 beaten eggs, and I beat these eggs real well, and I'm going to add them in now. And the reason they say to add them last is for the very same reason I told you to add 2 tablespoons of flour, because if you overmix them in your pie batter, your pecan pie may be runny. May and may not. Alright, so these 3 eggs that I've already beaten, and I tried to beat them as well as I could. Let's see. Get all that in there. Alright. Oops, I'm making a mess. Got my 3 eggs in there. And now we're going to mix. And I'm not going to use an electric mixer, although you all can. If that's what you choose to do, you go right ahead. And we're going to get these eggs mixed up in here. I'll bring you back when I get them mixed. It might take a minute. We're back. I got all that stirred up and I put it in a container that has a spout on it, because I'm not going to make one whole pecan pie. And I think it makes 16 of these small ones, but it will make a 9-inch pie baked at 350 for 45 minutes. These, whoa, I overfilled that one. Can you all see? These are also going to bake at 350, but I'm only going to bake them 25 or 30 minutes. I'll test them. And you notice I didn't put any pecans in yet. And we'll do that in just a minute. Alright, this is going to make 16 individual pecan pies. And I like this method because so many times you bring a couple of pecan pies to your Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, and somebody will take a slice out of one and somebody will take a slice out of the other one. Well, there, you've ruined a pie. I'm going to try to get some of this out of here. You have ruined one whole pie. If both pies don't all get eaten, then you've got 2 pies that have been cut in two. Well, I didn't like that, so I said I'm going to make these individually, and there we go. And that way each person can have their own little slice of pie, and it won't be messing up more than one pie. And what you have left over, freeze. So, alright, since this makes 16 and you've seen me pour 8 of them, we'll be back when I get the others done. Alright, I got them all filled. It filled 16. Don't overfill them like I did. Go about 3/4 of the way up. Now, if you were making a whole pie, you would have already put your pecans in. But since I'm just making mini pies, I'm putting my pecans on the top of each one. And if it was a whole pie, it said use a cup of pecans. I got out a little more than a cup because these are individual and I didn't want it to be chintzy. So I'm going to finish doing this. I'm going to put these in the oven. I'm going to keep an eye on them. And 25-30 minutes is what I think it'll take, and then we'll be back. Well, welcome back. These little pies, as small as they are, took 35 minutes in my oven. See, the bottoms are perfectly cooked. And you, honestly, you will not taste a better pecan pie, in my opinion. And it's just so much easier to bring individual servings and let everybody serve themselves, and what you have left over, if you have a big crowd, just freeze it. Whoops, the crust is going to break. But here it is. Can you see it? It's still a little warm, but it's perfect. It's perfect little pie for one person. And you know, everybody can enjoy their own piece. You can freeze what's left over and not have any waste, not have 2 pies going that don't get eaten. So that is my video for today. I hope you try this pie. You won't be disappointed in it. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. And until next time, you take care.